Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, prices of consumer goods rapidly increase.
Ang gasolina pa lang, 3,000 na isang buwan. O, pagkain mo, everyday ang ulam lang, mga ulam lang, 300 a day, di nasa 9 mil na yun.
With the inflation rate reaching a 5-year record high.
We are generally positive over the overall economic situation.
Some lawmakers call for urgent measures to minimize the impact of the tax reform law.
Yung pagtaas ng presyo, hindi na dapat politicized yan eh. It affects everyone.
But economic managers insist train is not to be blamed.
We could not foresee na there was going to be gulo sa Middle East, and that drove the price of fuel up.
Budget Secretary Ben Diokno joins us live. And later, an asteroid lights up the sky as it enters Earth. That's for today's In Focus. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky. Web prices of consumer goods continue to rise. That's according to the latest inflation rate report. But economic managers say current prices should still be manageable for households earning 10,000 pesos a month. And amid public clamor from consumer groups and some lawmakers to suspend the tax reform law, government officials insist the train law is not the culprit in the rising inflation. But what does it mean to ordinary Filipinos? Let's go straight to the source of the story. Budget Secretary Ben Diokno. Secretary, welcome back to the show,
Thanks
sir.
for having me.
Perfect to talk about this. We spoke, I don't know, sir, maybe about 3 days ago on the phone for Balitaan. But let's talk about this in depth, sir. Inflation now, as of yesterday, actually was at 4.6%. It's the 5th straight month of increase. In other words, it increased Jan, Feb, March, April, May, and it's the highest in 5 years.
You know that 4.6 is actually good news because the market was expecting 5 or higher.
That's what the BSP was saying.
Right, yeah, so it's good news. At the same time, it's like it's decelerating. In March, it increased month on month, increased by 0.7. In April, 0.2. And in May, 0.2. So it's like a car. It's instead of accelerating, it's decelerating. So we're very optimistic that on the second half of the year, it will go to our target. Right now, the year to date is 4.1. Ang target namin 2 to 4. So it's within striking distance.
You can say that that's good news, but to the Filipino people, sir, they're saying that masakit na dahil napakataas ng presyo ng bilihin.
You know, not many people understand that we have actually given the Filipino consumers, income tax filers, 144 billion. We return it to them through a tax cut. Remember, the original package was, if you earn 500,000 and above, you get taxed 32%, 1/3. Now we reduce it to 25%, and the exemption is much higher. The first 250,000 is zero tax. Okay. So in effect, we return to the income tax filers something like 12 billion every month, or 144 billion the whole year.
But you're talking about those earning 250,000 and above, sir?
Yeah, but at the same time, we recognize that there are some who do not pay income taxes. Yeah. So ano naman namin? What we did was to give them what is called unconditional cash transfer. So this is the top, the bottom 50% of the families. So assuming 100 million Filipinos divided by 5, average family size, so that's 20 million families. So that lower 10 million, we are giving them unconditional cash transfer.
Okay, I want to really dissect this, sir, because so many things to factor in. Like you're saying that tinaas naman natin yung gap doon sa hindi na nagbabayad ng income tax, right? You're saying that there are what is called social protection provisions, such as the unconditional cash transfer. Here's the thing, sir. We spoke to Congressman Dakila Kua,
okay,
chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. They passed this this, but there were promises from economic managers such as an unconditional cash transfer, rice subsidy, and maybe subsidy on fuel. So we spoke to him, sir, and he was the one that told us that out of the 10 million households that the economic managers promised unconditional cash transfer, there were only about, I don't know, sir, did he see 2 or 3 million who received it? So there's a balance of 7 million. Sir, let's listen to Congressman Dakila Kua's statement.
Una dun sa unconditional cash transfer, 10 million families po yata ang covered. Nasa 1.5 or 2 million pa lang ang roll out. So, late na po yan. Yung pong social benefits card natin, magbibigay sana ng diskwenta sa ating mga minimum wage earners so that when they go to work, this 10% discount ang transpo nila. 10% discount on medicine, rice assistance for those who are unemployed para may makain yung pamilya.
Are they getting that?
Wala pa pong IRR. So yun po ang kinukulit natin na sana bilisan na. Kasi pinangako nyo yan sa amin na i-roll out natin sa taong bayan.
Ipinangako nyo sa kanila that you will roll this out. You talked about it, sir. Only 2 million out of 10 million.
Well, kailan mo sila in-interview?
That was just last week, sir.
Yeah. Kasi the data now is that the 4.4 million, yung 4Ps, they already received it.
4.4. So tumaas na si 2 million to 4.4.
Yes, and then the 3 million, yung mga senior, indigent seniors, will get it before the end of the month, June. And the rest, 2.6 million, will get it by 2.6. Tama si...
By 2.6 by when, sir?
2.6 by end of July. Tama si Secretary. I think this is basically dahil the change in leadership sa DSWD. Remember, so hindi nila naasikaso. But, you know, this shows that the train law is beautifully crafted. Na-anticipate namin lahat yan.
If that is beautifully crafted, sir, isn't it fair that if you're going to tax people or tataas po ang presyo ng bilihin and then you promise itong gagawin nyo pero itong ibibigay, hindi ba dapat sinabay nyo yun, sir? Because that's what he's saying. And even Senator Bam Aquino, sir.
Yeah, but you know, ang pagtaas
Hindi ba nagkulang ang gobyerno, sir?
Nagkulang yun, in effect. Pero yun na nga, we're fixing it, no? Plus, hindi naman yung buong pagtaas ng presyo ay dahil because of the train. Sabi nga ni Sunny, we did not anticipate yung kaguluhan sa Middle East, so tumaas din yung presyo ng gasolina. That's beyond our control. No? Tapos, ang isa pang tumaas din ay yung presyo ng cigarettes, tobacco. No? Pero kung hindi ka naman naninigarilyo, so wala naman.
Affected.
At ang rason nun is because we're collecting better. Kung nagbabayad na ng buwis ngayon yung dating nagmamanufacture ng cigarettes, nag-evade sila ng taxes. Ngayon, we're collecting better. Tapos ang pinakamataas na presyo sa basic commodities, yung isda. Kasi may mga fish kill na it's happening all over. And meron pang season na ata na close ang fishing. So, yun ang mga dahilan.
So,
plus
okay.
the peso depreciation.
The peso depreciation, rise in the price in the world market, sir. But so you're saying that nagkaroon ng pagkukulang din ng gobyerno dahil hindi naman talaga 100% na roll out.
0.4 lang ang...
Okay. You know, you said that yesterday, sir. I think you're the one that said that the train law only contributes 0.4, tama
Yes,
ba?
yes.
0.4% to the inflation rate. Can you make us understand this? Kami po, even the consumers.
Yeah,
sir.
okay.
Ano ba ibig sabihin ng 0.4 of the
Ang target
inflation?
namin kasi is 2 to 4. So ngayon, nagkaroon ng... so let's say ang average nun, 2 to 4 is 3, no? 4.6. So how do you explain the 1.6?
Okay.
So yun na, ang explanation doon is because of the train is 0.4, because of the tobacco better compliance, 0.1, crude oil increase, 0.5%, no? Tapos yung exchange rate, 1%, due to rice supply, 0.2, and then itong due to other factors, ito pwedeng demand, side factors, and unwarranted price increases. May nagsasamantala talaga rin. No? They are taking the train as an excuse for raising prices. Pero meron din tinatawag kami na demand factor kasi nag-infuse kami ng additional 32 billion every month. Because of that tax cut, mas maraming pera ngayon yung consumers.
Yeah.
And this is a case of too much money chasing after
Okay,
trivial goods.
here's the thing, sir. Please help us understand this. Those who have not been paying taxes even before, they're not affected by the expansion of those not paying taxes. Kasi hindi na ho sila nagbabayad dati pa, di ba?
Correct.
Okay.
In fact, they're major beneficiaries.
Okay, pero pumunta ho kayo sa palengke, ang Baguio beans, 80 pesos dati, 100 pesos ngayon. Let's say eggplant, they're 50 pesos, they're now 70 pesos. I know someone, sir, who is in front of me, na nagbabayad ho sila na, nag-grocery sila ng 2,500 pesos a month. Parehong grocery din, sir. I just want to stick to, real numbers.
Correct.
Now they spend 3,000 pesos for the same amount of goods that they used to pay 2,500.
Well,
500 pesos
hindi
extra,
naman,
sir.
Hindi naman siya typical siguro.
Mukha ba ho ba siya mayaman?
Alam mo, ang typical na, most of the poor, 60% are in the rural areas, not sa city. Kaya namin binibigyan nga nung 2,400 eh. Yun ang ayuda doon sa mga mahihirap.
Yeah.
So pag nasa barangay ka naman sa Kanayunan, hindi ka na nga namamasahe, you just buy within the area lang, di ba? At saka sabi ko nga, tumas ng sigarilyo, tumas yung
Sweet and drinks.
Eh kung hindi ka naman umiinom ng soft drinks, at saka hindi ka naman naninigarilyo, okay ka lang. Diba? Kasi kaya inflation affects individuals differently.
Yeah.
Depende sa consumption
mo.
basket mo. Kaya alam mo, ang pinaka-effective na mangyayari dyan, yung rice, kasi 20% of the typical household budget ng mahihirap, bigas.
Ay, magkano ho ba ang bigas ngayon sa isang kilong 35 pesos?
Bakit ba tumaas yun? Kasi nga di ba nag-announce ang NFA na wala na tayong bigas. So nagpanic yun.
2 months ago pa yun, sir.
Pero
3
kaya
months
nga,
ago?
kaya nga, if you check the data now, hindi tumaas na. Stable na. Kasi nga, parating na yung inangkat namin bigas.
Okay, so you're saying, how I'm getting it, sir, is maghintay lang kayo, things are going to look better next month.
Oh,
Parang
yeah.
ganun po.
Oh, no, it will-
What can we expect next
It
month,
will
sir?
look better in, not necessarily next month, but towards the second half of the year.
Okay.
All right?
Maybe, July, August, September, sometime like that, sir.
Something August, pababa. And then next year, mag-stabilize yan.
So, ibig sabihin, sir, ano pa rin, magtipid hanggang maybe August, we'll see better days or better months.
Of course. At saka, I think we should take into account na yung pera ng taong bayan, hindi naman namin tinatago sa treasury. We're using it.
Yeah.
Para rin sa taong bayan, di ba? So, yung mga long-term projects natin, na mga train, ganyan.
Yeah.
Alam mo ba ng train natin ngayon, existing, 77 kilometers long.
Okay.
And we are planning to expand that to 1,900 kilometers.
From 77
to 1,900.
Yeah.
Ang pinakamahaba dyan yung Bicol Express,
Yeah.
600 plus kilometers. So, yung hindi namin itatago yun, ibibigay din namin sa inyo.
But I don't think it's a question of really government tinatago yung pera o kinukuha yung pera o korap ang gobyerno. I don't think that's a question, sir. The question really is, nahihirapan po ang mga tao, tumaas na ang presyo ng mga bilihin, at they cannot cope. Parang ganun po.
But kaya nga namin binibigyan ng
Unconditional cash transfer na hindi pa
Hindi yun
na-roll out.
to replace their budget. It is to take care of the higher prices.
Okay, but I think was it the NEDA that came out with that 10,000 peso budget? Meron pong 10,000 peso budget that was broken down. We're going to discuss that a little later on. If it seems accurate for those watching us, we'll talk about that. And of course, are they really adamant that they will not suspend the excise tax on petroleum products? This is The Source on CNN Philippines. We'll be discussing that with Budget Secretary Ben Diokno after the break. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Budget Secretary Ben Diokno. So we're looking at a 10,000 peso budget. I think this came from the NEDA.
Ano lang, that's for illustration purposes.
Okay, illustration.
If your budget is 10,000, ito yung breakdown.
Okay, so siguro maybe that might be,
Some
I don't know.
people earn more than 10,000.
And some people earn less than
Of course,
10,000.
of course.
All right, let's look at that. 10,000 peso family. So, rice, meat, so pagkain po yan. Ang gagastusin, an average Filipino family, let's put it at 6 or 5. Okay. Tatay, nanay, tatlong anak. 2,418 pesos sa isang buwan? Paano yun? 2,418 pesos. I'm just gonna bring out my, 2,418 divided by 30 days. 80 pesos isang araw, sir.
Alam mo, ang definition ng United Nations ng poverty is $1.25.
$1.125. So that's like
more or less-
60
more or
pesos?
less 60.
Okay.
Oh. So yun, I think that's the basis of that. So kung ikaw ay kumikita, of course, we may agree or disagree with that definition, but that's the global definition.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to, well, I'm not going to
So
debate
it's
that.
in dollars.
But what I'm saying, sir, does it sound logical to you that a family of 5 will only spend 80 pesos a day for food? Bigas lang po, 35 pesos isang kilo, 2 kilo sa isang araw. That's already 70 pesos, sir.
Kung maybe dalawang nagtatrabaho, pwede. But-
Yeah, no, but sir, but you said we're looking at an average of 10,000 pesos.
Kaya nga, but ang average family, pwede naman dalawa nagtatrabaho.
Yeah,
diba?
but the breakdown is for 10,000. It doesn't seem...
Ask the
NEDA. Okay.
But
Hindi.
that's my recollection.
Sir, pasensya na because we're live on Facebook and the netizens are reacting. If the numbers are realistic, I mean, I'm not here to. I'm just saying that off the top of my head, kasya ba ang 80 pesos na budget para sa pamilya ng 5? Ako po, sa palagay ko po,
Hindi kakasa sa'yo.
hindi sa akin, kahit nasa mga kasama ko po sa bahay, hindi ho ba? So, I guess that's the question. Maybe just answer the question of the netizens. Is that a realistic number, sir?
But that's the definition. Hindi ko alam kung saan nila kinuha yung 10,000 na yan.
Okay.
That's for illustration purposes.
Yeah, but illustration purposes should be accurate. Next slide is the, well, I guess, this is not something kasi galing sa inyo, sir, no? Sa electricity, gas, other fuels. Magkano ho yan? 744 pesos in 1 month, etc. So, I guess...
Yung mga mahihirap, hindi sila siguro nakakonect sa Meralco o ganun.
Okay, yeah.
As I said, 60% of the poor are in the rural areas. So, siguro
40% urban.
They rely on the kerosene.
Yeah.
Ganun,
Yeah. All right. So I guess that's not coming from the budget, Department of Budget, no. So let's talk about a concern by some na and I know that you have stressed this that. They're calling for the suspension of the excise tax on petroleum products. So please respond, sir. Sabi po ni Senator Diokno, sabihin ko lang po ito, that, okay, world prices, we can't do anything about it. Depreciation of the peso, we can't do anything about it. But we can do something about excise taxes, sir. Suspend it. Why is government not wanting to do this?
Number one, I've seen them all. No? I've worked under 3 administration. Hindi mo pwedeng, you cannot stop a project in the middle of the game, ganun. So we are counted as a source for our build. No? Pagka naudlot to, then we have so many unfinished projects. I mean, school buildings na walang doorknob, mga ganun. So I think it's not smart to do that. No? Number 2, meron naman sa batas na provision na ganun. Kaya lang, ang nakalagay doon is that
3 consecutive months of $80 per barrel of the Dubai crude oil.
It is forward-looking.
Yeah.
You cannot go back.
Yeah, because to be clear about that, it's an average of $80 of the Dubai crude for 3 consecutive months.
Correct.
But you can only suspend tranche 2. Hindi po yung nangyaring 250.
Hindi, tranche 1. Yung
susunod.
Yung susunod.
Ito hindi na po pwede tanggalin.
Hindi, pwede mo pa rin, kaya lang it will not apply. You cannot roll back, in other words. So, yung forward-looking ka.
Yeah.
But 3 months, hindi yung 1 day to
No,
2 weeks, 3 months.
of an average of $80
ngayon,
per
pabagsak
barrel.
na yung presyo ng gasolina eh. In fact, our forecast is it will go down.
Okay.
So, this is academic.
Yeah.
The discussion is academic. We will not suspend.
So talagang no?
No,
Hindi,
no,
sir.
no.
Kahit na sinasabi
At saka yun
na
nga,
mahirapan
to
na po
me,
sila.
it's not smart to after crafting this train, alam mo, talagang this is a beautifully crafted law. Tapos magpapalit ka ng mind mo in the middle of the game. Hindi pwede yun.
What if they say, Secretary, that hindi naman tayo nagpapalit ng isip? Sinususpend lang natin to
No,
temporarily.
but that's the provision of the law. 3 months.
Yeah.
Continuous. No?
Yeah.
Above 80.
Yes.
And then it's forward-looking.
Yes.
So, okay yun. Kung gusto nilang, this is the law. If they want to amend it, sa kanila rin.
I guess because to some senators, they wanted to peg this at the inflation rate. So very quickly, let's listen to our interview with Senator Diokno. Meron ho siya kasing talagang nilagay sa provision na natanggal daw sa BICAM. This is based on inflation. Let's listen very quickly.
What passed the Senate version were 2 safeguards. One was that one, which was the $80 per barrel. The second one was based on inflation rate. And I was the one who suggested the inflation rate safeguard. Pagdating sa BICAM, tinanggal yung inflation rate safeguard. So the bill that we filed actually just restores what the Senate already passed, which is an inflation rate safeguard. Kapag lumampas ka sa inflation rate range ng BSP for 3 months, you suspend the excise taxes on fuel, not the up-and-coming increase, but pati itong 2018 increases. No? Now, that's the bill that we filed. It's quite a short bill. The Senate already voted on this. I'm just hoping na ma-restore natin to. Now, guess what? Nakakatatlong buwan na tayo na lumalampas tayo sa inflation rate target range. No? It's already been 3 months that we're above 4%.
Yeah.
In fact, the annual forecast was already raised to 4.6%.
Yeah. Reaction, sir?
You have to realize that Congress is a collegiate body. That's his view. His colleagues voted him out. So
Voted that provision out.
that's right. So wala tayong magagawa. That's the law. So yung view of one individual, one senator, overridden by his colleagues, anong gagawin? He can claim credit for it, for something that did not happen.
So, so I guess I want to end this with, even if the people are complaining, and I think it was Congressman, I'm not sure exactly who, sir, said that there's a disconnect between government and the people. In fact, sir, syempre, I need to ask you this because I asked you already before tinawag niyo, don't be such crybabies. Ganun pa rin po. We will not suspend. We will
not suspend. Alam mo, I've seen it all. Sabi ko nga, I've worked in government for 50 years under 3 administration. In between, I work with UP, you know. Hindi pwede yun na in the middle of the game, you suspend. No? Otherwise, you have a lot of unfinished projects. And this is our chance. No? Mababa na yung debt service natin, debt to GDP ratio, mababa interest rate, and we're moving. Kumbaga tumatakbo na yung train, do not stop it in the middle of the game. Otherwise, we won't reach our destination to reduce poverty from 21.6 to 14% no, by the end of Duterte's term, and to zero poverty by 2040. Yun ang long-term goal
Sir,
natin.
kahit na umiiyak na yung tao, kasi natin umiiyak na sila, they're crybabies.
No, but these are short-term pains for long-term gains. Okay.
All right. You talked about build, sir. I just want to show them. You were talking about the railways that government is planning to build. We have a graph on this update on railways. Let's talk about that very briefly, sir, because isa po ito sa plano ng government on the it's the golden age. As ikaw nagsabi nun, golden age of infrastructure, diba? I remember our first interview. You said that to me, sir. So let's talk about that. I mean,
yung LRT1 Cavite extension, no? 11.7 kilometers, naumpisa na yan, and then matatapos yan 2022. Pinakamalaking, yung Kiramon yung San Jose del Monte, up to MRT7 yan. Alam mo, natulog yan ng 7 taon, ha? So we started it, and ngayon, full blast na siya. Yung PNR Calamba, we will do that, no? 72 kilometers. PNR Clark, also, and then Tutuban to Malolos. LRT2, yung sa Recto to Pier 4. And then, ang pinakamalaking project namin, yung Metro Manila Subway.
Yeah, well, that's Japanese funded.
Japanese
ODA.
funded, 0.1%, 40 years to pay.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Something really to look forward to, sir. They were planning to do
groundbreaking
November.
later this year or early in 2019. Matatapos yan, siyempre hindi sa termino namin, but 2025, 2027. And then meron din kaming, yung pinakamahabang train dyan is yung Bicol Express.
Yeah, the one you're talking,
639 kilometers.
Something to really look forward to. I mean, sir.
And then yung Mindanao din, meron kaming gagawin sa Mindanao. Mindanao Railway, yung Tagum Davao Digos, and then Tagum
Is that the
Butuan.
China?
Hindi, GAA muna yan, but kung gusto ng China i-finance, we can offer that. Tapos meron din, ito definitely hindi namin maumpisahan, Mindanao Railway 3, Butuan, Iligan, Mindanao Railway 4, Iligan, Digos. Yung feasibility study nito matatapos na namin.
All right, we'll be taking another break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Stay with us. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Budget Secretary Ben Diokno. Sir, wage increase, 512 pesos in Metro Manila, or I think that's NCR. They want a 300 peso increase. Sir, do you support this? Should wages be increased?
Meron tayong tinatawag na tripartite regional wage board eh. Alam mo, naging compromise yun ng panahon ni Tita Cory na gusto nila isang wage sa buong bansa. So, bin-break down namin to regional. I think let them work. Yung ano yan, NEDA plus gobyerno plus management plus labor.
But do you support it? Do you think it's time? Sir, kailangan ho ba, because, just very briefly, because tumataas po ang presyo, siguro dapat dagdagan natin ng konti yung
To
salary?
me, pwede naman siguro, but I think it has to be through that
To the wage
mechanism.
rate. So, but you support it?
So support it.
Okay. Salary of teachers, sir, the last time we spoke, they were asking about this. Ano na ho ang update dito?
Kasama sila doon sa salary standardization. We are now working on the third tranche ngayon. There a fourth tranche 2019. And then by first quarter of 2019, papaaral natin ulit sa private sector kung ano yung comparison ng government pay at saka private sector pay. And then we will implement that in 2020, 21, 22.
So, ibig sabihin, sa mga teachers na pwedeng nakikinig sa atin, so dahil shift nila mamaya pa, 2020 pa, sir?
Hindi, meron na silang may naka-schedule na pay increase sila this year and next year.
So meron. May asahan sila this year?
And next year.
All right. Okay. So at least that's mga magkano
Plus,
po, sir?
alam mo, plus, nakinabang sila dito sa train.
Yeah.
They got extra boost because of the train.
Okay. Around how much can they expect this year, sir?
Siguro 5%, 5%.
Okay, 5%. All right, so...
That's more than the inflation rate, di ba?
4.6%. Well, tingnan po natin how it goes. Sabi nga ni Secretary, bumababa naman daw.
Pababa yan. Actually,
Pababa.
I'm confident that we will hit the upper range in 4%.
Okay. Thank you, Secretary. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
So,
Thank you for your
welcome
time,
for
sir.
giving me this opportunity.
You're welcome, sir. And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.